Here we are, penultimate episode of this season of Split the Difference. I am Jesse, and today we have just the horror with us, Hope.
I love horror, but not this kind, dude.
No, I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, Seth backed out. He has some editing to do today. I think he actually just tapped out because he just didn't want to talk about the remake because he he said in our Discord he made it 3 minutes in and he turned it off because it was making him angry. I believe it. I believe it. Yeah.
So what is it we're talking about, Jesse?
We are talking about Get Carter, the original film from 1971, directed by Mike Hodges, versus the 2000 remake of the same name, directed by Stephen Kay. The remake is a Sylvester Stallone vehicle. It was in the down period when his career was kind of beginning to flatline a little bit until he revived it with Rocky Balboa. So let's talk about the original. I didn't realize Michael Caine was that good at playing an asshole.
Dude, he has range. But I
Yeah.
mean, also, so in an earlier season, we did Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Michael Caine
Mhm.
in it. So like
Yeah.
we know he has like that dickishness to him. So
Yeah, but not like a horrible, misogynistic, woman beating, hateful gangster. I didn't
oh
realize
yeah,
that was in him. Yeah, I want
dude,
to preface. Yeah, I want to preface right now. The original is highly misogynistic.
a little bit.
Very. There's a lot of women getting caught in the crossfire of
I
this
mean, it's
this
England in
gang
the
war.
70s. Like,
Yeah, yeah. This is mainly due to a relaxation of the rules and regulations of the film industry, so they were able to get away with a lot more. You can feel the influence of Guy Ritchie and or the had influence on Guy Ritchie and Mike Matthew Vaughn, Quentin Tarantino, the quick, snappy dialogue. Um, so overall, I enjoy it. Got some issues with it. What did you think, Hope? I know this is not really your bag. You're not really into this kind of film.
this this is not my typical genre I go towards at all, but so I hadn't seen either of these films
Mm-hmm.
beforehand.
Yeah,
However, I'd like to so this character of Michael Caine's, I don't know if it's because it's Michael Caine or if
yeah.
it's the character, but like I related him to like a bad drug. Like it's bad for you, but you just want more. Like you're addicted.
He's very charming when he's not
Yeah.
slapping someone.
Like he's got that Bond vibe. Like
I
and
could have
then
totally seen him as Bond in his younger years.
yeah, like I got that Bond vibe. He was cool, he was suave, he like had that just sex appeal. I was like, I'd be in bed with that man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like and especially like the scene where he's having like phone sex with his mistress
In front of his landlord.
in front of the landlord.
Oh, Christ.
And I was just like, fuck, that was hot. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
And
but
then,
the
of course,
whole
he
time,
sleeps with the landlord later on, which is the best
right,
part.
right.
God.
And like I said, like the whole time I'm like, this is bad, but I just wanted more because I'm like, I don't know. I guess I never really had like a, every girl has like their bad boy arc or like, but I was like, this must be mine because like, who?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the general plot is this is the time frame of when bad guys are bad guys and there's only bad guys in your movie.
Hmm.
There's not a single decent human being in this entire movie. Maybe the landlord, and that's about it.
Well, there's the friends at the pub.
The secondary characters that have no dialogue. Yes, them. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is when the entire film is populated with terrible, terrible people. No good guys. There's almost no police anywhere in the entire
Oh fuck
movie.
no.
Yeah, it's just cops are gone, gangs run everything, and so you don't feel bad about Michael Caine beating the ever living crap out of any of them. So I kind of want to jump ahead a little bit. So
Go
the
ahead.
end of this original film, spoilers. Michael Caine ends up getting killed. It's based on a book called Jack Goes Home. In the book, he survives, whereas in the film, they killed him. Do you think that was a good change, killing him off at the end of the story?
I do. I know Seth also agreed as well
Yeah,
that it was because it's like, where do you go from there? You
yeah,
know, he just killed everyone. He's literal scum.
yeah.
He, dude, I don't know. I was like,
He shouldn't be allowed to get away with it.
at least he finished his mission, you know.
Yeah,
So that's the only thing I can say to
yeah.
that is like before he died, at least he like finished his mission. But
Got revenge for his dead brother and his niece that got forced into doing porn she didn't want to do. Like,
yeah.
at least he got revenge for that. But he's still such a terrible person.
Oh yeah.
Just
No,
an
100%.
awful human being. Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I think killing him off at the end is the good decision. It also reminds me of the that ending was copied with Matthew Vaughn's film Layer Cake. It's the end of
Mm,
that because originally the studio wanted him to just drive off into the sunset with the woman that he gets together with, and Matthew Vaughn secretly shot the ending of the film where he gets gunned down by a sniper from a distance, and that's the end. He had to sneak that in. Studios thought, oh no, it's okay, let him get away with it. He's an awful person. You should not be allowed to get away with it.
I need to go revisit Layer Cake because it's been pretty much since like it came out that I've seen it.
Oh,
So
it's so
like
good. It's so
it
good.
like
Yeah.
I remember loving it, but it's been a hot minute.
You want to see Tom Hardy in his early years before he became big? There he
Tom
is.
Hardy with 5 lines of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
not Mad Max.
Yeah, that's not Mad Max. Yeah. So the original film, were you at all a little confused by some of the plot? Because I felt a little
So
confused.
here's the thing, like I both films, honestly, that they like there were so many subplots that were going
Mm-hmm.
on, but it was like not what the film set up, so to
Yeah.
say. I felt like there was so much like history and backstory. Like maybe if I read the book, I'd get some of these things a little better because
Mm-hmm.
they're all based off the book. So like maybe I'm like, oh well, it's a movie, they couldn't fit that in, but it's a part of the character, so they have to like reference it or like that's the only thing I could think of. Um, like especially how why like northern England would care about the gangs in like southern England and like because that was a big part of it. Like they kept telling Carter like, hey, don't go to this territory because you'll be
Yeah.
stepping on their toes. Like it was like a turf thing, like, hey, we respect them, they respect us, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
But again, like obviously he was from there, so like he knew the people. So I don't know. It was I feel like a lot of it is I need to read the book.
Yeah. There's some of that, and also it's Britain in the '70s, so this is the quintessential British film. If you are
Mhm.
not from Britain in the '70s, you're probably gonna be like, huh? There's a
Right.
few head scratcher moments where you're a little confused. So that's product of its time. I can't really fault it too much for that. It's of its time. It's of its location. Um, I want to touch on what you were saying about like there's subplots that don't go anywhere. In the beginning, when he's on the train and the credits are playing, he's reading a Raymond Chandler book, and Raymond Chandler wrote various books, such as The Big Sleep. And in that story, there's a bunch of subplots that literally go nowhere because it's a criminal investigation, and sometimes in a
Mhm.
criminal investigation, you have just dead ends that just go nowhere.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's one where like a car drives off of a dock, and everyone's like, "Well, how does that relate back to the main storyline?" It's like I don't know, it just doesn't. Like maybe it was a different crime. You don't know.
Yeah.
That's the point, is that there's a bunch of subplots that don't really go anywhere, and so for the average person trying to just find cohesion in the story, you're not gonna find it.
And that's maybe because it is like these highly ranked like mobs and gangsters and stuff. Like they have a million different little things going on. They have a million different, so I could see where that plays.
Mm. It feels naturalistic. It does feel very much day in the life.
Yeah.
We hang out with our friends at the pub, then we go beat the living crap out of the guys next door.
That's the life, man. That's the dream. That's the
Yeah,
dream.
yeah. Um, so I mean, we've established that Michael Caine is a bad person, but he's likable. Is there anybody else in this story you would say is also a bad person but likable?
Kinnear.
Yeah, I'd say
Like
him.
Kinnear, he also had like that weird, like cool, like I didn't get sex appeal off of him, but like he had
Mm.
that cool vibe. Like, yeah, I know why you're here. Yeah, you're fucking with my shit, but don't worry. I'm gonna
Yeah,
like, and it was all because he was like playing cards. He was like, yeah, I see everyone's hand.
yeah,
I'll do what I want,
yeah.
but I'm gonna
You
have
get
fun first. And I was like,
yeah.
this motherfucker, okay. Like,
Yeah, that was where I noticed a lot of the Quentin Tarantino influence, or the thing that influenced Tarantino when he sits down to around everybody that's playing cards, and somebody says, "Well, are you going to leave?" And he says, "Yeah, as soon as you've lost all your money."
mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, there's the influence for Tarantino. There it is. And it's interesting seeing this sort of Rosetta Stone of where that snappy dialogue came from. It's nice to see it. I think the film itself is just a little, it's very grim and very dour at times, sometimes a little too much, but it's Britain in the 70s.
But also, have you ever been to Britain? Like, it's not the most sunny place. It's not the most
I,
like.
I'm well aware, yes. I've seen various interviews of people on the street in Britain where the older generation says, "Oh, I love it here. I'm proud to be British." And then the younger generation is kind of like, "No, I fucking hate it here. It rains all the time. It smells. It's expensive." Yeah, the younger generation wants to get the fuck out of that fucking place. Older generation is like, "We're proud to be British. Cool, you can die there." Jesus. But yeah, I do think that the film, while it is definitely a piece of film history and it's definitely a piece of British cinema, it just didn't grab me as emotionally as I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good. There's great performances. It's well shot.
Oh
I
yeah.
do, yeah. There's a great sequence where Michael Caine is he watches the porn that's in I can't remember her name, the woman that's in the bathtub. I can't remember her name.
The
And
hoe.
he yeah, the hoe, and he finds out that his niece is in that film as
Mm-hmm.
well, and he snaps. Like, that's a great scene where he kind of, there's this little bit of empathy where he's like, oh god, now I gotta do this, oh no, and he knows he has to get
Mm-hmm.
rid of this woman, and then she dies unknowingly in the trunk of a car,
Yeah.
and he doesn't care.
Well, it's. I guess it's that blood outweighs type of deal. Like, because it's purely like. Obviously, he doesn't have the greatest ties with the family, but he's like, that's my blood, so I have
Yeah,
to. Now,
yeah,
I do have a question for you. So I was a little confused. There's one point where his little buddy friend who got the shit beat out of him
yeah.
was Eric or Henry or whatever.
Let me
He's like,
check
I'm
that real
not
quick.
the one who like worked at the pub that was like giving him info and stuff, and then
Oh god, where is it?
anyway, his the dude who
Anyway,
like worked at the pub that was like giving Carter help and whatnot, who got the
yeah.
shit beat out of him. Now, at one point, he said he didn't even know, like, he was saying how his brother didn't know if the kid was his or not. Like, so is that implying that Doreen is like Jack's kid?
Implication, because I mean, Jack has fucked anything that moves.
So I was like, that's another interesting subplot. Is this why he's so upset too? Because it might actually be
Might it be his kid?
his kid and not just his niece, but his kid.
Yeah,
So like that I was like, hmm, that
yeah.
adds another layer.
That leads me in a little bit is something in the remake that kind of stood out to me is that there's a little moment when Stallone says to Rachel Lee Cook's character, also named
Hmm.
Doreen, says, "Yeah, I'm gonna be staying at the whatever the Mercer Hotel. You know, if you want to come by sometime, come on, come on by. Come by for what? Because there's weird parts where it's like, is he flirting with her? You know, that's your niece, right?
Right.
That was weird. And then it's implied he might have also hooked up with the
With
wife at
the
some
what?
point. It might be
Yeah.
his kid. It's never made clear. It's even more nebulous in the remake. Well, we're
Hmm.
we're not there yet. We're not there yet. There's a lot to unload with the remake. Um, But yeah, would you say that the original is definitely worth watching for as
Oh,
grim
yeah.
and dour as it
No,
is?
like I'm it's not, again, like I said before, like these are not the type of movies I gravitate towards. Like I don't,
Yeah,
this is not my bag. This is not my cup of tea, but I am glad I did watch this.
yeah,
Cuz I could recognize the good acting. I could recognize it is a part of like cinema history. I could recognize all these things. So like I was like, okay, I'm glad I watched it.
yeah,
You know, I've heard the name a million times too.
yeah,
You know, it's not like this tucked away film, so it must be something. But would I go back and watch it? Me personally, not really. Again,
yeah,
this just isn't, this isn't my kind of film. It's
yeah.
not.
I mean,
It
this premise has been used over and over again. Like you're saying, the title "Get Carter." There's been several stories that have ripped off that title, like
mhm.
"Get whatever." There was a
Get
Punisher
Shorty, get this,
"Get
yeah.
Shorty." There was a Punisher story called "Get Castle." It's like
Mhm.
it's set in Ireland.
Yeah.
It's literally the same story, like almost down to plot beats. Uh, so it's interesting that it's had this influence. You can feel there's even like some small influence on Judge Dredd. Weirdly, I don't know how that happens. It's in there though. It's in there. Believe me. Uh,
I believe you, but
yeah, yeah. Believe me. But it is worth watching. I just think I would never return to it anytime soon. So it's
yeah, like I said, I'm glad I watched it. You know,
yeah,
I if this is your genre,
yeah,
go for it. Like you're gonna love it. But me, yeah,
yeah,
I can recognize it for what it is, but I'm good.
yeah.
I'm good.
It does have an edge of humor to it as well, though. It's funnier than the remake is. The remake ain't funny at all. This original
Oh
film,
yeah.
there's moments where I burst out laughing when he walks outside carrying the shotgun, totally naked, and the neighbor sees
Yes.
him. My
Yeah.
God, I burst out laughing. That nothing like that happens in the remake. The remake is oddly devoid of comedy and
Yeah.
sex.
Well, like I
Yeah,
said, one of the best parts was him in the living room of his landlord or whatever. He's having phone sex with the mistress, and just the landlord sitting there like, "Please stop it. Please stop it."
yeah,
She's like rocking in her chair like, oh god, please just oh
yeah,
and he sees it, so he's like egging it on too. He's like,
mm,
I know you're uncomfortable. I'm gonna fuck with you even more.
yeah.
Like, I was
He's
like,
trying
"Ew."
he's trying to turn her on, so eventually she'll hook up with him. It's very, very, very sleazy. God, have I mentioned that Michael Caine plays a good asshole? He's very good at playing an asshole.
But it's so good. You love him for it. And
Yeah,
it's great because he is like the nicest person ever too.
yeah, yeah. He has since retired, I think, from film. He is no longer working. He's in his late 80s, I believe. Now
Yeah,
he's yeah, yeah.
he's earned the right to fuck off with a cup of tea somewhere.
Yeah, unless Chris Nolan calls up and says, "Chris, I need you." It says, "Michael, I need you. Please come back. Come back. I need you for one scene. Promise, just one scene.
It's
We
like
got you for
he's
one scene in Tenet. I just need you for one more."
I could just imagine Michael Caine being like, "Okay, but you fly to my house. I sit where I want to sit."
Can we do this on a Zoom call? I'd like to do it on
Right?
a Zoom call. I don't want to leave
Exactly.
my house.
My wife just made a really nice dinner. Okay.
Yeah, I'm literally sitting down to eat. Please, Chris, stop bothering me. So
Yeah.
yeah, original. It's a quality film. It's just very grim, a little dour, not quite my particular taste, but you can feel the influence on Tarantino and Matthew Vaughn and Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie, especially with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Oh yeah.
You can feel it there. Maybe Rock and Roll a little bit there as well. So it's nice to feel that origin point. Um, Something that wasn't great to feel was the remake. So yeah, like I said earlier on, Seth turned it off after about 3 minutes. That's probably why he dipped out. He's probably not here because he just didn't want to do the episode.
He'd have an
and I don't
aneurysm.
and I don't blame him. I this movie currently sits at an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if I'd go that low, but I would
I
definitely make it. I would definitely say it's bad. I put it at like a 25, maybe 30 if I'm being generous. There's
I
things I like. It's just not good.
no.
So fire
The
away.
so the one thing I will give it is, at least in the remake, he has built up a little bit more of a relationship with Doreen. But
Mhm.
again, in the original, it was implied that he already had a relationship with her.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's kind of like in the original, it was implied that there was already a relationship, and then in the remake, they showed it. So I don't know if that was good or bad, but at least like on screen, you saw motivation, I
Yeah.
guess. I'm trying to find some positives before I just rip this shit apart.
uh,
The the cat. Okay, with the casting, they underutilized John C. McGinley.
yes, I noted that. Yeah. Also, by the way, why do the Las Vegas casino guys want him to come back to work? Like, does a casino only ever have two enforcers?
No, they wanted him to come back because they found out that he was doing the
Oh yeah,
boss's.
because he fucked the casino manager's wife. That's right.
Yeah, it wasn't the fact that they had work. It was, hey, shit got out. It looks like
Yeah.
you're fleeing because you were caught.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Uh yeah, I'm trying to think of positives too. I don't think this is the worst performance from Stallone. It's not the worst. He's definitely had some worse performances, but he definitely feels like he's kind of on autopilot in this one. It's like it just
Again,
eh,
I think John C. McGinley was underutilized. Love that
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I think I think the fact that they got Michael Caine back, I was like, he's doing somebody a favor because he was
Yeah.
in the original and he knows what it could be.
Yeah. Yeah. I
He
have
was
another
good.
positive. I have a positive. Michael Caine shows up in the remake, playing a
Yeah,
different character. There's a positive.
he plays Brumby this time.
Yeah, I even have in my notes Michael Caine. I'm so sorry.
Right. I was just
He,
like,
yeah, he did it as a favor to Stallone because apparently he and Stallone are friends. I don't know how that happened. I have no idea. I guess they were in a previous film together. I don't know. I've never seen all of Stallone's movies. So I will say I was overall okay with the first 20 minutes. The first 20, I was like, all right, it's okay. And then the rest of the movie happens. When he gets to Seattle, that's when the movie just kind of falls off a fucking cliff for me. So it's not only a poor adaptation of its source material and a poor remake, it's a poorly made movie. Just in
there's the I think the biggest thing was like how it was edited. Just there was too many
yeah, I
like
have in here too many crossfades. Too many crossfades.
too many
Yeah,
crossfade, but that was like a thing of the 2000, like the early 2000s, the early aughts. That was
yeah,
like the thing to do for some reason. That was like the
yeah.
thing. I guess, and I'm glad that trend faded very quickly.
John
Uh,
Carpenter did that a lot. He started doing that a lot. Yeah, go back to Ghosts of Mars, previous episode of Film Rescue. Yeah, we talked about
yeah.
that a lot.
Again, I'm glad that was a trend that faded very fast, very quickly. Very happy about that.
Yeah, I want to say the first Resident Evil had that as well. I haven't watched the first Resident Evil in a long time. I want to say it was there too. But yeah, it's I think a big negative is not just the poor construction of the movie, it's also the fact that they added strange things that don't make sense. Like there's that weird moment with Mickey Rourke and Sylvester Stallone. What's with the weird homoeroticism between the two of them? Did you notice that?
So it was weird because in the original, like because I hate when a remake tries to steal lines and scenes from the original but doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah, yeah,
And that was part of it. And the thing is like when Michael Caine did the whole like, "Oh, take off your glasses, I want to see your eyes." That was more like of an intimidation thing.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
original. But in the remakes, like you said, it was more like, mm, let me see
Homoerotic.
those eyes. Like, so, and I know like Mickey Rourke and Stallone are friends. Maybe it's an undertone of their friendship. I don't know.
I don't
um,
know. I mean, it's Mickey Rourke would join with them again in the first Expendables movie. So I don't
Now, if they're gonna do that, then my
know.
complaint
Lean into
is
it.
just lean into it. Like,
Yeah,
let me see that ass, you know,
yeah,
like, let me see that shit, you
yeah.
know. That's
I.
my only complaint. Like, if you're gonna do that, fucking go. I want that. I need that, you know. So my complaint is they went for it, but they didn't follow through, and I'm like, don't tease me. Do
Yeah.
not tease me.
Hmm.
Fucking Stallone and Rourke, like, in the early aughts, like, entering sort of Silver Fox era, like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
let me get that shit. Let me get that shit.
Well, unfortunately, you're not going to get that because this remake is almost completely sexless. It's
Mm.
so devoid of sex. Like the whole phone sex scene that's in the original film, and that was in the 70s, back when it was very taboo to put that on film. That is straight ripped out of the movie,
Even
completely gone.
even, like, the porn that
Oh, it's so clean. There's no nudity. No
there's
nudity.
nothing. Like, how is that even porn? Like,
Yeah,
that was just
it's
his niece was making out with a chick. That's okay.
that doesn't mean anything. It
No.
doesn't. Yeah, it's this is a very cleaned up, sanitized version. It also reflects modern day America is that sex is taboo in film. I mean, not so much anymore. Um,
But
but
in that time frame, yeah.
in the 2000s, it was like sex is a no go on film, no matter what. Whereas violence, oh no, more. We love it. We love violence on film. It's totally okay, which is very odd to me. It's very, very strange to me.
And even
Uh,
that was kinda clean too, not gonna lie.
yeah, there's not a lot of blood or gore or anything like that. I mean, even that which is shown is not that extreme. I'd say the original is more extreme because when he throws that guy off of the parking deck, you actually see it. Whereas in this one, it just cuts to him already on the car.
Yeah.
You never actually see the action take place. It's almost like it's been edited. It's all of the brutal content that made the original what it was has been excised from the remake.
Right.
So yeah, and also I have things like shaky cam fight scenes. I remember the 2000s. I love it when the camera won't stop shaking. I love it. It's
It's a tactic where people
to cover up
who
people, fact people can't fight.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
tactic. It's not the best one, but I get it
yeah,
because if I really wanted to sit down and analyze it, like I used to be uh first degree black belt in Hapkido. Like
yeah,
if I sat down and analyzed that shit, I'd be like, okay, well, he's holding his thumb. You shouldn't do that when you punch. Oh, you shouldn't do that block. Like blah blah blah. So it's yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely no Enter the Dragon or anything.
No, this is not Bruce Lee at all. Yeah, it's like you also have bad sound editing and mixing. The ADR is too obvious. The rain sound effect is too loud, and people's wireless mics don't pick up the audio. Did you notice that there's a lot of dialogue that you just can't quite hear? Like, what are they saying? Like, what? You want to know how the studio didn't give a
Honestly,
shit about this
I
movie?
was fading in and out because I watched it this
It is,
morning after I've been
yeah,
doing a lot of OT at work, and I came home. I'm like, I don't care. I just need to get through this.
it is pretty boring ultimately. You want to know how the studio didn't give a shit about this movie? You know how every single time you rent something on Amazon, there's always a subtitle option.
Yeah.
They don't have one for this one. There's no subtitle option available on Amazon. Every movie has one of those on Amazon. Not this one. The studio just like chucked this thing into the wind, and said, "Fuck it." They don't even care. So yeah,
Yeah, because I watch all my films with like CC or subtitles or something. Like I
yeah.
have to. It's a way to like yeah, so
Get the information. Yeah, same. I'm also becoming hard of hearing because I listen to my music too loud.
not
So
me, it's just like just with my neurodivergence, like it helps me process it better. Just
Yeah, yeah. Also, you know, there's like just bad writing at one point where Dorian shows up to Jack's hotel and he says, "Let's take a rain check on like getting together." I'm not sure for what. And then right afterwards, he turns around and says, "Hey, are you
are you
hungry?"
hungry? Yeah.
Wait a minute! I thought you said take a rain check. What? Oh,
It'd be one thing if he was like, wait, look, I'm sorry. I'm just defaulting to like how I am. I do have time. Like all I could have said is, you know what, I fucked up. I do have time. Let's get lunch or something.
yeah,
But like, or like I said before, how they were copying lines from the original, but they didn't know how to properly displace them into the remake. Like
yeah,
the whole scene with, I guess her name's Geraldine or something. She's like, "Oh, I'm your fairy godmother." Like, how? You just show
yeah.
up.
How?
You just show up. Like in the original, it was because she showed up in a car and picked him up while he's being chased. You know,
Yeah,
like the other one, she's just sitting there like, "Oh, I'm your fairy godmother." Why? What'd you do? You didn't even flash a titty. Like, come on.
yeah. At least do that. Yeah, it's. I will say that at least the story is a little more clean cut. There's less extraneous storylines going on. It's a little more
That's true.
straightforward, but not by much. Like the whole Audrey storyline is completely superfluous to everything.
Hmm.
It's but
It was like one
it's
scene.
yeah, yeah. So I say the movie is 10% cleaner than cleaner cut than the story of the original, but I would take the mangled mess that is the original storyline over this because at least the original has some personality to it.
Right.
That's the other thing. Is that this film has no personality. If you put this down in front of me and just sat it next to other films of the time, like Layer Cake or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and I would be like, oh yeah, just pick any of these. I'd probably only go with probably Lock, Stock, and Layer Cake because Get Carter, like the poster of it, looks so flat and generic. It's the flattest, most generic, bland
And I
iteration
do
of this
feel
story.
bad because like when you do look at the cast, it's a fucking phenomenal
Oh, tons
cast.
of people, tons of
You
people.
know, and I was like, wow, they really got a lot of good people. Even
Yeah,
although I was trying to, maybe because I was fading in and out, but apparently Tyler Labine is uh has like a small role in this movie as well. And I was like trying to find him in this. He was my Where's Waldo, because I love Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
oh,
So I
he's
was,
Bud. He's
yeah,
Bud. Yeah, he's in there. Yeah.
yeah. So I was like trying to find him, but again, maybe I was just like too whatever. I couldn't find him. I was like, no, that's the one thing I wanted to see, and I'm not going back to watch it again.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yeah.
But I was like, I know he's in there. I know he's in there.
Yeah. So why is the budget of this movie $63 million?
Stallone.
Yeah, it's probably still on. Yeah. I think his fee was like 20 million at the time.
And
So
then you have Michael Caine, and then you have John C. McGinley, who is just writing he just got another big role in Scrubs.
yeah.
So like the cast is heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. There is
Oh,
one
and
scene
yeah.
there's one scene I like. One scene. When he's in the elevator and John C. McGinley gets in there and he's imagining the various ways they're going to try to kill him. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, that's good. I like that. That's clever. And then it just kind of ends.
Right.
He doesn't kill them, even though he really should, and just goes up to the roof and just kind of waits and just talks to Rachel Lee Cook. Like, you know, they're just going to get back up and just ride the elevator because they know where your room is.
Right.
They're just going to go there.
Again, they were underutilized. It was
Yeah.
underutilized.
Yeah. Lots of little issues like that. I'm willing to let a few things slide here and there, but when they start to stack up, that's a sign of just a bad script.
Mhm.
Yeah. So to wrap up on this remake, the ending, the changed ending where he gets away. uh,
Yeah.
how do we feel about that? Clearly reshot. Clearly reshot. Not on location in Seattle because it's not raining. It's clearly
Doesn't
reshot in a different
always rain
location.
there. It doesn't always rain there. Um although I with how sterilized the film is, and it was the time of like, you know, Stallone is also the same type of we talked about this, like certain actors, they have like Stallone, even though he's like the bad guy in the film, he never really was like the bad guy. So, like, obviously, of course, you're gonna lean towards him living because he didn't fuck everything that breathed in this. He didn't technically like
Yeah.
kill a bunch of people. You only really see him kill like one person, you know,
Yeah. On
and that
screen at
was
least. On screen at least.
yeah, and that was the one who like initiated like the the whole Doreen thing, you know,
Yeah. Brumby. You
and
see he kills Brumby. He kills Michael Caine,
right,
which feels like an insult to the original film.
right, but well, you know, and it's and the guy, the Johnny Strong or whatever the fuck his name is, he's
Yeah, the wiry wormy guy.
yeah, and he throws him off the building. So two people, but
Yeah.
like,
Did he kill Mickey Rourke? It never really says.
I don't think so.
It was weird because he has it's like a slow motion shot of him like aiming the gun in his face, and I'm like, is he gonna do it? And then it just cuts to another scene. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so I don't know.
This is like
Um,
cinematic blue balls, man. Just do
no,
something.
but the thing is like you the whole point of them building the relationship with him and his niece and everything, like it's to show like he has something to live for. He wants to, he is the good guy, because Stallone
Yeah,
isn't the type of person who can ever be truly the bad guy.
yeah,
That's just part of his contract, persona, whatever.
yeah.
So,
With the exception of Death Race 2000 from the beginning of his career, where he was the bad guy. Yeah, I think because he's not as awful a human being as Michael Caine's version was, it's okay to let him get away with it, but it
mhm.
still feels like an awkward, tacked on ending. Like, yeah, we're just gonna duct tape it to the back end of the movie. It's fine.
Although it was really weird how he went to stop the the grave site of his brother to see Doreen one last time. And obviously he's stopped somewhere to see the mother because he's like, "Oh, she told me you'd be here." And
Yeah.
you hear the police in the background. It's like
How?
I was like, "Dude, that's you're either that shitty at evading, which you shouldn't be,
Yeah.
or like what?" Because it was, it's like, what the fuck? Are they really that close on his tail? Like, where
And
you
he's
can
not
hear
really
them?
in a rush. He's not in a
No,
rush to get out of there.
no. I was like, you can hear them. It's not like
Yeah.
a scene in the distance where you might see like flicker of blue and red lights. It's like you hear them. They're on you. Like they could throw the taser at you. Like that's
Yeah.
how close. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck? I don't know. I
Yeah.
I I just thought it was funny. It was kind of funny. Like
Yeah.
no sense of urgency whatsoever.
Yeah, this is a not a good movie. This is I would say this remake is not worth your time. The original, at least, while it is grim and it is dour at times, it's got dark humor in it.
It's
It's
entertaining.
it's entertaining, even if it's not your cup of tea. You can say it's entertaining. It's got Michael Caine at the top of his game. He's killing it as his character, and it feels like it
Killing it.
actually. I get it. It's funny. Sorry for the pun, but it just feels like the original has a lot more going on under the surface, filmmaking wise, storytelling wise, character wise. Like, even if there wasn't a murder of his brother in the story to kick the narrative off, I would still have fun just watching his character just go through life.
Oh yeah.
Like, I feel engaged with what he's doing because he as a character is entertaining. I don't feel that with Stallone's version.
No, not really.
He just comes off more like a thug in the
Well,
remake.
and Stallone needed, I feel like his character needed the motivation,
Yeah,
whereas Michael Caine's didn't.
yeah.
But again, I think they were going more so off of the direct from the book, and the remake was coming more off of the movie and not the book.
Yeah,
So like,
it's that diluting of content down
yeah,
and down the line. Like the
exactly.
original
It's
film
that
based on a book.
it's that game of
Yeah,
telephone. Like you just keep
yeah.
on.
It's game of telephone. It's game of telephone. Yeah. So would you say this is the worst we've ever seen on?
No, 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 no. It's
Yeah, I
not
did.
the worst. It's
No.
bad, but it's not the
Yeah,
worst. I
Rollerball definitely is probably still at the top for, or the bottom, I should say, for worst things we ever had on this show.
the top of the
Rollerball is
bottom.
the top of the bottom, the cream of the shit. But yeah, that's probably still at the bottom for me. 47 Ronin and Death Wish are probably down there as well. Yeah, this is not a good movie. I wouldn't even encourage watching it, even if it's for free. Everyone quickly forgot about this thing the moment it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the box office shows $63 million budget, and it ended up making around 20 million, less than 20 million.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah,
Not even
yeah.
enough Stallone fans could help it.
Not even enough Stallone fans. Yeah, got Stallone says that he thinks this film was underrated. It was,
He has to. It's his film.
yeah, I know,
Just like
so
any star character in their movie, even if they fucking hate it.
yeah.
Like, just think of like Madam Web with Dakota. She's like, you could clearly tell in her interview she's being fed lines, but her face was like, "Fucking kill me, just kill me.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah,
this. I hate this." But obviously, she was still saying, "Oh yeah, go see it. Just kill me before you see it."
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, her contract's now up, and she doesn't have to. She can just say anything she wants about it now.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
I think she just
Tom.
wants to forget about it though.
Yeah, as we all do. Coming soon to Patreon only film rescue, Madam Web. Thanks, Seth.
Have fun with
uh,
that.
yeah, yeah. Hope's gonna dip out of that one. Yeah,
No, I like my life a little too much currently
yeah,
to succumb to that.
yeah. Don't worry, you'll be on the Rebel Moon episodes, all 6 hours of them.
You know, I was having a nice time with you until now. I'm gonna end
uh,
this. Just
I'll say,
remember who's controlling the
okay.
recording currently.
I'll say one last thing. So, Todd McCarthy of Variety magazine called this film a useless remake. I agree with that. This is
Yeah,
useless. You could just get the same experience from the original. It's just a better experience than the original. It's generally the same plot, but the original has personality. It's got humor. It's more entertaining. Michael Caine is great. It looks better.
yeah.
No shaky cam with the action. It's more engaging, even if it is a more dour, grim movie. So,
Nowadays, who doesn't love that though?
Marvel.
Shut up. Shut up. Actually, false. Did you not watch X-Men 97, Jesse?
Oh, okay.
I know you
That's an outlier, and they already fired the guy that made the first season. It doesn't count.
don't make me mad. We finally got something good and it was taken from us.
Yeah, we had it taken. God. So yeah, I know this will be a short episode, but yeah, these movies are kind of clean cut, cut and dry. Original, worth it. Remake, don't waste your time.
It's
So
the episode is short because we don't want to talk about the remake.
yeah, we don't need to. It's like it's
We don't
worth
want
forgetting. Everybody else
to.
forgot about it. So yeah,
We could have focused like the whole time on the original, pretty much.
we
And
could
been
have.
fine.
Yeah, yeah, but here we are. It's not the basis of the show.
God damn it.
So, our next episode, final episode of this season, we're doing a trifecta of movies. We're doing King Kong, the original film, and the Jeff Bridges starring remake, and then the Peter Jackson remake of the remake.
I own
This
the
was
original. I
this
love
was a
the
request from
original.
Hope. This was a request from Hope.
I love the original King Kong because like that was one of the very first like black and white movies I ever purchased. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I love this.
Yep, this is a request from Hope. We're ending the season on a trifecta. I don't think we've ever done one of those. Oh no, we kind of did one when we did Fantastic Four with Jack Packard years ago. We
Mm,
kind of touched on the Jessica Alba, Chris Evans movies a little bit, but it was more of the
yeah,
Roger Corman
yeah.
original versus the Josh Trank fan force stick. God. And we ended up saying, hey, the Roger Corman one was not that bad. It's way better than the
Yeah.
Josh Trank film.
All
God.
right. So the last time I requested an episode, something tragic happened. So let's avoid that.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just end it here. So, yeah, there you go. King Kong coming up to end our season. Go to our Patreon. Was it patreon.com/jag? Was it Jaguar Sharks?
No, it's still Montresor.
It's still Montresor? Okay, thank you. Yeah, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there, go and see all of our content early on Patreon. And with that, good night.